Okay, when you hear that, you know what time it is. It's time for us to head out and talk with the coach. Because if you are balling,
Yo, I must be balling because you calling this morning. You calling this morning. So
and the
you
money
and Keith.
is fouling.
And boy, I tell you, good morning, Keith. Good morning, Joe. What's happening?
Good
Y'all good?
morning, good
We
morning.
all good, coach. It's always great talking with you, and I know you've got some things. And I just mentioned it to you. You said that you just heard about it, but boy, you talk about a legend, man. You talk about a legend. I'm talking about Coach Archie Gunslinger Cooley, and you remember him,
Yeah.
coach, from down at UAPB, but he coached the likes of Jerry Rice back in
Yes. Yeah.
Mississippi Valley back in the day. Was the air attack, and he got that name, the Gunslinger, because they was slinging that ball back in the day, but we lost them this week,
Yeah.
coach. Yeah.
Well, yes, yeah. Our prayers for his family, but yeah, we're talking about him for a reason because he transformed HBCU football. Of course, that's why they call him the gunslinger, slinging that ball. Jerry Rice over Mississippi Valley, and here you got a guy. Mississippi Valley goes and be top draft pick. Lets you know wherever you play, you can ball their call. And man, our prayers are with Coach Cooley and his family because I remember his first game when he came to UAPB. One of the games they played down in Washita and Arkadelphia. And when you're winning and you're doing things innovatively, people come out and support you. Man, you couldn't find a seat in that place in 19. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, people just come and follow him because he had that. He had that magnetism that people wanted to be around him because he was different and he was throwing the ball and that's what everybody kind of went to. But he was ahead of the game. So our prayers out to his family. Joe,
Yeah.
I want to ask you and keep this. How do y'all feel about the media talks about LeBron and Bronny? What are y'all thoughts on that? Because there was just so much, and trying to look at it, we applaud him, and then one tweet came out said the Lakers was going to draft him. What do y'all think?
That's rough.
You're talking about all the talk about he's not ready yet, and some people. I saw an article yesterday where they said that they played him out of position when he was there, but. Coach, I don't know. What have you seen on this? We know he's entered the portal. Don't know if he's going to go, and he says he's also entered the draft. I don't know if that's going to work out. But
it's just a lot. It's a lot of expectation to be placed, and you think about LeVar Ball, and then when he was talking about his sons, and like one of the former players said, how he talked about his son, and then how LeBron is Stephen A. Smith even made it. He said he thinks the expectations were too high because you put it out there, and it's just a very sensitive deal. I applaud LeBron and his efforts and giving back and what he's doing, and even with his family and things. I just think it's a very precarious situation, and but I'm hoping it works out for the best. Because if not, it just stays in the media all the time. I mean, he was in the media and for reasons that just scrutiny. And I just hate that for a young person all the time, that whatever you do, is somebody's talking about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a new age, coach, and that's social media.
New age.
Yeah, that's social media. Ooh.
Yeah, it kills you for good. And that brings me to the point about, man, Jerry Jones making Arkansas a player in the NIL game. I know. Hey, listen, but think about this, though. Listen, if you pay your coach and you don't pay your players, you don't really have a chance.
Right.
That's right.
Just so as you think about this NIL, if you're paying your coach $7-8 million, but you're not going to pay your top players, and so Jerry's in a situation of really no salary cap, and he realizes that. So we're going to get the best coach, which we got to have the best ballers.
Coach.
So the money got to be falling. They calling, and Coach Cal, what they say, Cal a hog,
Coach Jerry said he gonna double what they were giving him in Kentucky, and I'm thinking, well, why don't you pay them Cowboy players? Why don't you play CD Lamb?
But see, that's the deal. They got a salary cap. So, they got to look at they can't do that. And he realized, he said, well, listen, hey, Jerry said, I can help the Razorbacks win better than I can the Cowboys. He said, I got a cap. He don't have a cap now in college. And Jerry the business guy, he said, well, at least I can help my alma mater then. And but we better still be looking at paying some football players as well. You follow what I'm saying? Because this is going to, if you either got to play the game or get out the game. You can't do both.
Did you say pay the game or play the game? I'm sorry.
Pay the game or get out the game, because if you got to pay to play. I mean, so and one guy, this basketball player this year, I think he went to Indiana from Kentucky. He asked for $1.2 million.
Wow.
I mean, so that's so hey, the cost of winning makes the money fall when the ball is ball. So that's it. And without money, you're just participating. Hey, Joe, I want to go on here before I wrap up. Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony tonight. Hey, they ball tonight. They get the call, and you got Peyton Hillis out of Conway going into the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame. Jason Peters, who continued to play in the NFL a long time, made millions from Queen City, Texas. I coached his brother up on the hill when I was there. And Ryan Mallett from Texarkana, Texas. There, man, give a round of applause to all the former Hogs going into the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame. And one guy who we all know who's just, man, a legend.
Right.
Among the
legend.
Coach Al Flanagan. Coach Al Flanagan.
That's a legend.
That's a legend.
Yes, he's the legend. The legend won 7 state and 11 conference championships. And man, so happy for him. He went into the LRSD One Rock Hall of Fame. And giving Coach his flowers, because he's impacted so many lives, man. So many lives. Hey, before I go, Joe, UCA last week broke 4 track records at the Little Rock Invitational. Hey, Joe, y'all used to remember the Meet of Champs over in Hot Springs when we grew up, man?
Yeah,
how going over there?
Tell me about that, Coach. Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm just so happy to see kids running, in track. And so when we see that UCA is able to go to the Little Rock Invitation, they were headed up to the Tyson's Invitation up on the hill. But I'm just happy to see these track records because, usually you wouldn't hear anything about track because nobody was running, and it's not as big as it used to be. But the Meet of Champs in Hot Springs, when I grew up on that Saturday, everybody was there, and I know your listeners remember that at that age in the 80s, late 70s and early 80s, boy, that was a big time deal. And y'all know I got to close with what I'm always talking about, man. This homicide grenade that went off again in our state last week at Wynne, Arkansas. And Joe, in the first and 45, I call it, because the number one cause of death for black males age 1 to 44 is homicide. And it's for reasons like this mass shooting, I call it the homicide grenade that went off in our community, where 1 was killed, 9 were injured, and 4 are now facing life in prison. So you just do the math and see how those lives are impacted. It's just like a grenade going off, and we must keep bringing this awareness to our community because our young men and even our young ladies now are dying every day, and we're not saying anything about it. And while we're burying our young men and incarcerating those who are responsible because of the social determinants in our communities. So, Joe, I want to close with that today. God bless you all. And you always know if the money falling, we calling because we balling.
We balling. All right, Coach. We'll see you next week.
Right.
All right.
Okay.